Everybody loves a good drought, and clearly the issues of farmers are once again in the focus of political parties thanks to the election season. The Congress has waived off the farm loans, and many other BJP ruled states have also followed the suit in the past and recently. But is farm loan waiver the solution to the woes of the farmers which have existed for decades? Raghuram Rajan to Mr. Swaminathan repeatedly argued that the issues of farmers are far more broader in nature, they are far more institutional in nature, and they require long-term solution. Well, the first problem is that these farm loan waivers do not cover all the farmers. A lot of farmers do farming on the basis of a rented land. Sometimes they take a loan, say from not a government institution but rather from a private money lender, and clearly in cases like these the interest rates are much high, and clearly you're not even under the institutional cover and protection of the government. Even government's own data reveals that when the farm loan waiver of up to Rs 1 lakh was given, only 11% of those farmers were covered under that scheme. Now, moving forward to what is the long-term solution? Well, if you look at those solutions and the Swaminathan committee report, the arguments and the sort of solutions that are needed are much more broad scale in nature. One farm loan waiver which is universal, which is there for all the farmers, and it's a one-time step that happens. Secondly, government should give some sort of guarantee as far as seeds are concerned, as far as water supply is concerned, and there has to be some amount of government support even for the machines. There are also experts talking about the fact that how food inflation, which has been kept under check by the government, has impacted the earnings of the farmer. It's interesting to note that only 3% of the land was owned by about 50% of these farmers who are in the lower income bracket, and about 10% of these farmers who are the richer ones, who are the bigger farmers, owned about 54% of the land. So clearly the problem is far more structural in nature. What is essentially needed here is an overhaul reform. There is also the talk in the Swaminathan committee report of having a debt commission in place, which takes into account the different sorts of problems that farmers face in different parts of the country. Well, clearly without those sweeping changes, without those institutional reforms, it is very difficult that these bandage solutions are going to solve the problems of the farmers. And even in these farm loan waivers, not every farmer is covered. The government also talks about, interestingly, about the raised minimum support price. Well, the farmer organizations who have been agitating on the road say that the MSP and the latest formula of the government does not take into account the sort of rentals that the farmers have to pay when they do the farming, because farming on rental land is usually a huge chunk of the farmers at all. Going forward in the election seasons, we're going to see a lot of these packages coming in for farmers, these waivers which happen, or the sort of lip service we see from any political party. One of the demands is that all the issues pertaining to land, especially the agricultural land, should be put in a concurrent way so that the union government and the state government can both take action on it.